So let's discuss about waterfall model. So in the waterfall model, it has multiple stages starting from requirements to the maintenance. Those are, one is requirements, design, implementation, test, installation, and maintenance. Okay. First, you start with the requirements, gathering the requirements and defining the requirements. You'll do that. Okay. So from where you gather the requirements? From the customer only. You'll be gathering the requirements. First, you'll be gathering the requirements and making sure the requirements are fine, proper, and it is defined. You have defined all the requirements. That's one thing. And once the requirements are completed, once requirements gathering and understanding is completed, okay, here in the requirement phase, you not only gathering the requirements, it is also important to understand the requirements. Okay, you'll be doing both of them, and after that you'll be starting with the design. Okay, so design is nothing but, so what, how many kind of modules you should have in this project, and how each module will communicate with other modules. Okay, what are the low level what are the data which is required for this project, and what are the users will be there for this project. Okay, so what kind of user types. Okay, and admin is one user, and employee is another user, customer is another user, something like that. Okay, so you'll be designing the requirements. Okay, from the requirements we'll be making a design. Okay, and once the design is completed, okay, so it is very easy to understand what this project all about from the design document. Okay, once the design is done, you have to start with implementation. Okay, implementation is nothing but coding. Okay, the developers from the design document, they understood it, and they'll start coding the things. Once the coding is done, okay, your application is ready. Okay, now the testing begins, the test phase will begin. So there you have to write set of test cases for the application and make sure those test cases are working fine on the against the application. If any test case are failed, yes, you have to raise a defect, all those things you have to do. So everything will happen in the testing phase. Once testing is also completed, okay, you certify that this particular application is ready for the market, this is working fine. Okay, so then what you have to do, you have to go for installation. You have to, on the production environment, you have to install it. Okay, once it is installed, once it is installed, so now everybody can see that application from the outside. Okay, all the customers, all the people can able to access your application, can able to work on it. Okay, so, and once that is done, you will be coming into maintenance phase. Okay, so maintenance phase is nothing but, so you have developed an application with version 1 and given to the customer. Okay, customer, client, you have given to the client, and client will come back to you and say, okay, so you have defined a wonderful web application, that's well and good. Now I wanted you to add some more features to the existing application. I want you to add some more features. Okay, so that's about maintenance. Okay, not only adding some more new features, it's also about fixing the defects. Okay, if the client has got some defects on the system, okay, he will he'll keep those defects and he will send it back to the team who developed this particular application. Okay, that's also about maintenance, fixing the defects. Okay, and adding some new requirements, adding some new features to the application is also about maintenance. Okay, so in the waterfall model, which what we have to remember is that the things will start from one by one, sequential order, sequential order. Okay, so start from requirements, design, implementation, test, installation, maintenance, everything will happen in sequence order, one by one. Okay, so for example, so we are the tester, let's discuss about what is the difficulty here. So in order to start the testing phase, you have to make sure that the requirement, design, implementation is completed, and until then you have to be keep quiet. If you don't have any other work, you have to be keep quiet. You just have to come to the office and enjoy for some time and go home. That's it. It has to be repeated. That's it until you get a work. Okay, until it is implemented. So that is the one drawback. So testers will be in waiting period if they don't have any other work. Okay, let's discuss some advantages or strengths about waterfall model. Okay, so it is easy to understand and easy to use. Yeah, that's true. provides structure to inexperienced staff, milestones are well understood, set requirement stability, good for management control, work well when quality is more important than cost or schedule. Okay, so here, okay, let's go with this. Okay, so when you look for quality, yeah, you can go for waterfall model, and when you look for cost or schedule, yes, you look for another thing. Okay, that's what it is telling. And let's come back to waterfall deficiencies or waterfall drawbacks. All requirements must be known upfront. Okay, you should know all the requirements in the very beginning. Okay, so if you get the requirements, if you get some requirements in the implementation phase, somebody tell me what happens. Can somebody explain me what happens if you get the requirements in the implementation phase? You gather the requirements, that's well and good. You went ahead design, you went ahead implementation, but after some time customer came to you and told, okay, please also add these new requirements. Now what happens?
There's a possibility you have to change the complete design, so
Exactly.
everything goes
Exactly.
under. Fine.
Exactly. One thing is we have to change the requirements. That's okay. Just take the requirements, add it to the requirements document. That's very simple. Now, what about the design? We have to change the design. Okay. So we got some new requirements. So where we have to, we have to make sure that these requirements are also added to the design document. Okay. So sometimes it is just adding some more new diagrams to the design document, but sometimes you require to redesign it. You require to redesign it. Okay, when customer says you some existing requirements has to be modified or some new requirements has to be added, sometimes it may possible that you have to redesign the entire design document, which is involves lot of time. Okay, once the design is changed, okay, once the existing design is modified, then you require to change the implementation, you require to start writing the code again. That's a very drawback of this waterfall model. Okay, otherwise it is well and good if the requirements are known to you upfront, everything, so then you can go ahead. Okay, so here this waterfall model is difficult to manage if you get the requirements in the middle of your work, in the middle of your work. That's one thing we have to remember. Deliverables created for each phase are considered frozen, inhibits flexibility. Okay, so for every stage, the deliverables are frozen. Okay, so those are logged. Can give a false impression of progress. Okay, so we say that you know we say that design is completed. We say that design is completed, but when it comes to implementing the code, when it comes to writing the code, so you might feel that this design is incomplete. Okay, so not sure, so it gives some false impression of progress even though we say design is completed. Okay, it might not be completed actually. That's one thing. Another thing is that we cannot say how much it is completed. Let's say you are doing the design document. Okay, so it's always, it's not so easy to say so how much it is completed and how much it is pending. Okay, so in that case you'll be giving some false progress statement. Does not reflect the problem solving nature of software development, iterations of phases. Integration is one big bang at the end. Okay, so making sure integration is, so making the integration. Okay, so that particular implementation will be done by different people. Okay, somebody will work on some feature, somebody will work on some other feature, somebody will work on some other feature. Okay, so at the end we have to combine all these features together into a single application. So that's what they are saying, it is integration is difficult here. Little opportunity for folk, for customer to preview the system. Okay, so when the customer will be getting the product, can anybody tell me when customer will be getting the product?
After the installation phase.
After the installation. Okay, maybe before the installation only. After the test, he will be getting it, and in the installation, so here our team will be supporting him to installing the product.
Is he gonna get the program he's gonna get? That's gonna be in the beta form or alpha?
Okay, it's a Beta and alpha, everything will be done in testing only. Okay, once beta and alpha testing is also done, then we say we go for production, actual production to the final customers. Okay, at
Okay.
once. Okay, so that's about installation. Even in the testing also we do the installation when you wanted to deploy as a beta version. For alpha version you can deploy in your office itself. In you can ask the customers to come back to your office and let's do some test cases for that, let's do some test for that. Okay, in the beta version you have to do the installation. Yes, so once beta version is also completed, we'll be actually releasing the product to the final customers, something like that. And when to use a waterfall model, requirements are very well known. Yes, product definition is stable, product definition is stable, technology is understood, new version of an existing product. Okay, let's say there is a already existing version is there and you wanted to work on some new version. Yes, go with that. Porting an existing product to a new platform, even that is also fine. So that's all about waterfall model.